Hi, it's Lindsay Watley here, the Community Engagement Manager for the town of Pendleton. I'm coming here today to talk a little bit about the Christmas parade coming up this Sunday, December 8th. If you're receiving this video, you are registered to participate in this year's parade. So take a few moments, review this information, and if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me at the end of the video. Registration to participate in the parade is free, but in lieu of registration, we do ask that the organizations that are participating donate towards the Clemson Community Care. So we are doing a canned food and personal care item drive. So you can drop off your items here at City Hall December 2nd through December 6th from 9 until 5, or you can bring them to check in on Sunday prior to the parade. So if you could reach out to your organizations, encourage them to bring donations to the parade, that would be great, or prior. So either way works for us. If you would like to drop them off early, just come on into Town Hall and we'll help you with that. Some things that Clemson Community Cares has vocalized are most in need are those personal care items. So things like shampoos, conditioners, deodorants, toothpaste, toothbrushes, things like that. So if you're able to provide those, that would be great. And thank you so much for participating in this year's parade. This year's parade, we have some beautiful trophies pictured there on the left-hand side of candy cane Christmas trees. That'll be going to the four parade participants who win in each category. So the four categories we have is most holiday spirit, best church entry, and most original entry, as well as best float. So those will be decided by our guest judges, who will be located at the corner across from the wine bar and across from the mercantile. So in that little section right there on Exchange Street, that's where our judges will be, and they will be ranking all of the participants on a ranking sheet, and then they will decide that at the end of the parade, and they will be announced via social media. So keep your ears out for that, and we'll deliver those awards to those organizations after the parade. All right, so let's talk a little bit about lineup procedures for this year's parade. So lineup is between 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. It's important that we meet that 2:30 deadline due to road closures that occur between 2:30 and 3 o'clock. You won't actually be able to easily get to the lineup area. So it's very critical that you show up between 1 and 2:30 to check in at 310 Greenville Street. 310 Greenville Street is a location of Town Hall here in Pendleton. There will be staff at the check-in table to check you in. You can drop off your canned goods at the donation truck at that time, and then continue out of the parking lot to the immediate right, and that's going to take you to the lineup area. And we will look at a map of that in just one moment and discuss that in detail. So those are the steps. You're going to check in at 310 Greenville Street at Town Hall at a table, drop off those canned goods, and then head to the staging area. All right, so we're going to look at this map together so that we're all aware of that process for check-in. So you're going to come into the parking lot on Greenville Street, that building right there with that terracotta colored roof. That is the Town Hall building. You're going to come into our parking lot. You're going to check in where that red star is located. You can drop off your canned goods at that time, and then we will confirm your entry number. And then we'll send you down that path, which is this red line here. You're going to come out of the parking lot, out of the side exit there. You're going to take a right back onto Greenville Street, and then take an immediate right onto North Elm Street. Go straight down that road all the way to the end there, and then you're going to take another right into the parade staging area. So it's really important that when you look at this, that you are aware that 1 through 15 are going to be located on this side of the street, closest to the Anderson District 4, and then 16 through 30 will be located on the other side of the street. If you have a float, please be sure you drive very slowly, and vehicles drive very slowly so that you don't pass your number. You can see there on the left that there is an example of what your number will look like. So it'll be a candy cane striped border with a large black number that designates where to park. So you want to put the front of your vehicle, the bumper of your vehicle, front bumper to that number. Okay, so that is the goal, to get everybody lined up. We will proceed with 1 through 15 at 3 o'clock, and then 16 will follow number 15 into the parade route, which we'll talk about in just a moment. All right, so when we're thinking about our participants in our organization, so young children or adults who are gathering together to participate in the parade route, we want to think about how can we communicate to them about drop off and pick up and parking locations, right? So we have some suggestions here. There are two really good spots to park. There is a small Anderson 4 parking lot that is next to Town Hall, in between Anderson 4 and Town Hall. That parking lot is often used by parents to drop off their children, as well as the Town Hall grass lot and parking lot, the same one that you check in. So just keep in mind that does get very congested, and to be patient there, but you are able to park and drop off your kids to walk to your numbered location on the staging area. It's really important to think about, as an organization, that we really want to encourage carpooling together so that we can keep that parking lot available, right? And that you can walk in groups over to your area. We also ask that family members and parents do not attempt to enter that staging area because you will be turned away. That's really just for vehicles that are going to be in the parade. We don't want a lot of traffic in and out of that roadway because it's going to be closed for staging, and there's going to be lots of young children and people in the roadway. So please only drop off in those parking lot areas and then walk to the staging area. All right, so let's talk a little bit about restroom opportunities. I have two young children who also do participate in parades. So, as a mom, you can kind of think of, well, man, 1 to 2:30 lineup. That's a long amount of time until we roll at 3 p.m. So what are some options for restrooms? We really encourage you to go, obviously, before you start staging for the parade. But emergencies do happen, and we will have Town Hall side entrance open from 1 until 3 o'clock. So right there on that black banister, there'll be a sign that says participant restrooms available here, and you will be able to use that. So if you're lining up across from the Anderson 4 district office, it's just a short walk over to this side door. It is closest to the lineup area. You can use the restroom facilities there. There will be a staff member there from 1 until 3. After 3, the parade will be moving, so we will not have accessible restrooms at that time. Your option, if you do have an emergency, is to use the permanent public restrooms that are located on East Queen Street behind the Pendleton bookstore. And there's a picture there of those located there. We do ask kindly, the merchants are not required to allow event goers to use their private restrooms, so we kindly ask that you do utilize those two options provided for you during the event. So this is the parade route, and we just wanted to take some time to look at it together. So down there on East Queen Street, you're going to see the orange area. That road closure begins at 1 o'clock and runs until 3:30. That is where your lineup starts. So we kind of discussed that earlier, what that would look like, 1 through 15 on one side, and then 15 through 30 on the other side. You do see on the alternate side there in the blue, that does close from 2:45 until 3:30. So like I said, that is to keep people from entering the parade route who are general motorists, right? So we have to stop the traffic there. And that's why the check-in needs to occur before 2:45. And we ask you to check in between 1 and 2:30 there. So the actual parade route is seen in the black arrows. So we're going to go down East Queen Street, and then we're going to take a left, and we're going to follow all the way around the square area there up until the North Depot Street. And that's where you're going to either continue straight, and then we're going to take a left on North Elm Street or a right on North Elm Street to get back to where we need to. We do ask that you not take a left on North Depot Street. It can potentially cause congestion if the parade route hasn't moved all the way through East Queen Street there. So continue straight past North Depot and then use your North Elm Street to get back to the area where you parked by 310 Greenville Street. We do want to talk about some general agreed upon statements when you signed up to be part of the parade. The first being that your entry has some type of holiday theme, whether it be musics or a visual component like costumes or decoration on vehicles or floats. The second and most important is that we don't allow throwing of candy from vehicles, and only can be handed out by walkers. That's to keep kids from running in the roadway and keep all of our event goers safe. The third is that Santa Claus is provided by the town of Pendleton and is located at the end of the parade. And Santa hats are okay, just no full on Santa costumes. All businesses and organizations are required that they are prepared with proper licensing and event and liability insurance for the event, and that is the responsibility of those who have signed up. And the entries must be entertaining and appropriate for the family audience. All right, so this slide is going to go over some notes about the drivers and some safety issues to think about and keep in mind during the parade route. So the first is that the parade speed is slow and consistent. So we don't want any sudden stops and starts in the parade route. So we have to be mindful of our speed at all times and to consider those walkers in the parade as well, keeping a good distance between yourself and any walkers in the parade. So one of the biggest thing is to be sure that we're attentive at all times while driving, so we're not texting while driving, and that we're not exiting the parade route, which can be a safety concern for those watching the parade as well as those in the parade. We also don't want any assumption of the use of alcohol or smoking while driving. And then to think about the back of our vehicles, the trailers and the truck beds that are used to transport parade participants. We don't want any sitting on open tailgates while moving or overcrowding of the truck beds. This is a safety concern for the parade, and we want to keep everybody nice and safe this holiday season. So let's be sure that we eliminate any tailgate sitting or even dangling feet off of the end of a trailer. So we want to keep everybody nice and safe and prohibit those activities during the parade. So this has a couple reminders we just discussed: no tailgate sitting or hanging legs off the float, no overcrowding tailgates, no throwing candy or objects of any kind off of vehicles, trucks, or trailers. But we also want to talk a little bit about fire safety. So if you do have any type of lights on your vehicle or use a generator for whatever reason, we want to be sure that there is a fire extinguisher on board. In addition, we want to think about the height of any decorations on our vehicles or our floats, that they don't exceed 14 feet. That's in order for your float or vehicle to be able to clear any power lines within the parade route. And then when we're thinking about driving, we want to, or even walking with walkers, we want to keep our distance to car lengths for the safety of everybody in the parade. That if there was a situation where we had to stop the parade, that there's enough distance to be able to do that safely. So now let's talk about our walkers and marchers, our bands and our dancers, and individuals and companies and organizations who are going to be handing out items to the crowd. Remember that we're not going to throw anything into the roadways. So as we're handing out candy and whatever information we want to hand out, we do that from person to person. So we're not going to throw it from the middle of the road out to the sidewalks. And that's to keep kids from being tempted to run into the roadway, right? So we're just thinking about the safety of everybody at the parade. All right, so animal groups. We always love the horses and the dogs and all the fun animals that participate in our parade, but we want to be sure that you guys have somebody either cleaning up after the animals or that the animals are diapered. So let's be considerate of everybody in the parade route and get that done this year for the town of Pendleton so we could have an awesome parade. Also, we want to be sure that when we're walking, especially if we have a float or a truck, that we don't have walkers in between the trucks and the trailers. So that's the safety of everybody. We don't want anyone to get pinned and injured for any reason. And also that our walkers are not permitted to jump on and off vehicles during the parade. It causes a risk to those coming in and off, and it tends to lead to vehicles suddenly stopping, and not paying attention to the parade route. So we want to discontinue that, and to encourage all of our walkers to keep up with the pace of the parade so that there's no large gaps in the parade route, because it's no fun when the crowd believes the parade is over and then a couple car lengths from that we have more vehicles and participants coming down the road. So let's keep everybody nice and orderly, and 2 car lengths. So we're thinking 2 car lengths walkers, 2 car lengths in vehicle, which is great timing for a parade. All right, so now we're going to just reiterate the exiting and reuniting at the end of the parade. So as we get down Main Street there on our parade route, you're going to get to North Elm Street. You can either take a right or a left. Since most people will probably park in the Anderson 4 lot as well as the Town Hall lot, we encourage you to take a left there, go up North Elm Street, and that will take you to the area to which you parked. So that's the best place to exit. It's super important as an organization, though, that you communicate with families a designated location to reunite with their child. It is your responsibility as an organization to reunite your families after the parade is over. It's really great if we start now to communicate that to the organizations and to encourage parents not to grab their children from the parade route. Sometimes that does occur, and it just causes confusion and safety concerns when it comes to operating the exit of the parade. So we really encourage you not to take a left on North Depot Street, because if the parade route hasn't continued all the way down East Queen, it can cause a backup in the parade. So we really want to encourage you to continue all the way down and take a left on North Elm Street. Just to finalize our safety video, I want to thank you so much for participating in this year's parade. I look forward to a wonderful event. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. My email is lindsayw@townofpendleton.org. You should be receiving this video along with your lineup number, so you'll have all that information ready to go for Sunday, and you can begin communicating with your families and participants as soon as possible. So we look forward to a great parade, and I will see you on Sunday.